Thanks, Larry. Yeah, hello. G'day, everybody. Welcome to the 2022 Beduma Homestead Original Spirit of Bush Country Music Festival. I extend a welcome to the Mayor, Brett Otto, and councillors of the South Bernard Regional Council. As this is the South Bernard Regional Council owned property, I thank the council for all their support and help that we receive here. I'd like to thank our caretakers, Bev and Jim, for the care and attention given to this complex. They do a magnificent job. Also, I'd like to thank all committee members for all the help and support and a generous amount of time that they devote to Beduma Homestead. I also thank all volunteers who give of their time and effort so tirelessly. All volunteers that work between the front gate and the back fence, thank you all for all that you do. I'd like to thank Tina Torrance for coming on board with her extensive advertising she's done to the homestead. I'd also like to acknowledge Buddy Thompson for all he has contributed to this complex over many years. Many of the buildings now on this site would not be here but for Buddy's input. Thank you, Buddy. Several of us on the committee are reaching our use by date. One in particular has passed it, that's me. I've been here, associated with the homestead for 20 years, give or take a couple. We require people to come forward, join the committee, and also take on executive positions, for the future of Beduma depends on it. Now, it gives me great pleasure to have Mayor Brett Otto here and Councillor Kathy Duff to do the official opening today. I now call on Councillor Kathy Duff.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's fantastic to be here. Great to see such a fantastic crowd. And just wanted to know where you all come from. How many people are new to the area? New to this homestead function, the Spirit of the Bush? Yep, awesome. How many people have been here 5 years? 10 years? Holy dooly. 20 years? Yep. Okay, so you've probably seen me around a fair bit. I'm known as the Lady in Pink, and our home is at Dido, which is only 10 kilometres down the road, and Dido was an outstation of Beduma Homestead. So I feel very, very privileged and honoured to be here today to officially open this wonderful Spirit of the Bush event. And I'd like to acknowledge the Mayor, because normally the Mayor gets the Guernsey, but this time I got the Guernsey. So I just wanted to thank Mayor Otto for stepping back and allowing me to get the job of doing the official opening. So let's give the Mayor a big round of applause. I'd also like to acknowledge Bruce Metroff, and he has been coming here for the last 20 years, and I don't think he's too old. What do you think? How old are you, Bruce?
OBE in a couple of months.
He gets his OBE in a couple of months, so he's almost 80, but they say that you're never too old. So we do have an ageing committee, but they are a wonderful committee. And also, I'd like to acknowledge Bruce and the wonderful work that he does, but also Judy Brand. She's not able to be here because her husband Keith had a heart attack, actually. And we got Life Flight and the ambulances came out here, and it's a long way out, but Judy just said how great it was to have such fantastic facilities from such a fantastic support base to be able to get Life Flight and the ambulances here. There was an ambulance from, I think it was Proston and Mundubbera came, and she said that her husband Keith is just doing so well because he had so much support. So it is great to know that we live way out here in the bush, but we have that fantastic support, and we give council gifts to Life Flight, and it just proved how valuable how invaluable Lifelight is to this community. I'd also like to acknowledge Richard Grimes and the team who's every year they're over at the bar. I'd like to acknowledge the patron of the Beduma homestead, Marjorie Grimes. Her sheep comes from Coronavan, which is also one of the original homesteads from out this way. So, you know, we feel very, very proud to be part of this fantastic Beduma homestead. Back when I can remember when it was just the homestead, it was all falling down, and a lot of people were sceptical and thought that we could never do anything much with it. But as Bruce said, Buddy Thompson and the team have just worked so tirelessly over many, many years to help to put this magnificent complex together. And I actually got in underneath, I've been underneath their dongers and actually dug post holes, like dug the holes underneath the donger. And I remember Councillor Damien Testman was under there too, and we were arguing and saying how to do the perfect post hole. So I've been as a right in underneath and part of, like that was just one day, but that I actually helped, but most people have put a lot more into it than me. But I just wanted to say that I sort of got in underneath that building. So please give me a round of applause. Because not many people would have been in underneath that donger. I challenged the mayor to go in underneath one of those dongers and just see if he could dig a post hole in under there. But yeah, so we've all been part of this. And what I love particularly about this particular event every year is that the crowd comes and helps, and a lot of times it's not the locals, it's the visitors who come and help. And I'm quite sure, put your hands up if you've been helping in any way, shape or form at this function. Yeah, there's people there. Give them a big round of applause, because that is part of what this is all about, and it's about this. We love to call it this the spirit of the bush, because it is the spirit of the bush. We're on the far north-west boundary of this council area, and sometimes we feel like I'm part of the council team, but sometimes I know this community feels like they're a bit on the outer edge. But it's that tremendous spirit that keeps this area going, because we've been through so many challenges, the tough times, the droughts, the COVID and everything, but the spirit of the bush lives on, and we should be very proud of the pioneers who started this and those people now who continue to carry the flag. So, but as Bruce has said, the committee needs more support, so if anyone wants to volunteer or you want to become members of the Friends of the Homestead, Beduma Homestead or anything like that, please don't hesitate to step up. But congratulations to everybody who's come along here to support this wonderful event. And I'm going to officially open it, but I want to hand over to the Mayor to take the pink ribbon. The Mayor's going to hold one side, and I'm going to hold the other, and then I'm going to ask Bruce to officially cut the ribbon and announce the Spirit of the Bush officially open. So this the homestead was established in 1846. That's 176 years ago, and I'm not sure how many Spirit of the Bushes we've had. Is it 176 or?
21.
21. So 2000 was the first one, so this will be number 20, this is 22? 21, we missed one. So we're going to declare the 21st Spirit of the Bush officially open. So normally I have a chainsaw, but I didn't know whether, I thought Bruce wouldn't be up for handling a chainsaw, so we're just going to use a pair of pink scissors. So I'll just go, so Bruce has to have the microphone because he's going to, do you want me to say declare it officially open and you cut the ribbon, or? So we need a drum roll. So we need everybody to make no, actually, we want a fair dinkum drummer up here.
Oh, wow.
So who thinks that there is a fair dinkum drummer? Who have we got? Mr. Cockroach, apparently.
Woohoo!
Okay, so we'll just do a test run.
Come on in, Ian.
Let's okay, we're good for it. Okay, we're good? Okay. So we now declare the 21st Spirit of the Bush officially open. 2022. I don't know. I don't. So I'm now going to hand over to the Mayor to say a few words.
Well, thank you, Kathy, Councillor Duff. I'm probably not going to be as entertaining as Kathy always is, but that was a wonderful opening. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, President Bruce and your committee, I just want to acknowledge the fact that we have our Judy and Keith here today, but I'm sure they're very much thinking about today at home, and they've also, along with many people, made a wonderful contribution to get this facility to where it is today and to put on so many wonderful events. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land upon which we gather here today, and of course they form the very first part of the history of the story of the land out here at this part of the world, the wonderful area of Bunduma. And they then were here, of course, when the settlers came here, and the first fellows from Scotland settled this country and this beautiful big station. This homestead was formed, one of the most historic facilities across our entire region. And of course, I was at, we've got Anzac Day on Monday, and I was at a presentation this morning with the diggers, and we spoke about how Anzac Day was the formation of the Australian character. But to my mind, and I think the diggers even shared this with me, that it was more an enshrinement of the Australian character, that the Australian character was actually formed through those people who went out into the country areas of Australia, settled the vast open plains, and really established our country. We didn't have cities to any great extent. This country was built on the back of those people that ventured out into the bush and built productive farms upon which this country's economy then was built. And Australia was very much, as we know today, formed by those people who've come here for many years and joined with our First Nations people. But the Swaggies and the pastoralists, the crop growers, they're the people who formed this nation. I'm sure, like myself, many of you here today can think back to your own history, your own ancestry, and I'm sure you've all got connections at some point along that ancestral line with people who were part of settling this great country that we live in today and give us the wonderful lifestyle that we had. And this area is very much, this facility very much a part of that wonderful Australian history. My job is to perform the vote of thanks. I'd like to first of all thank everyone that's here today. I'm sure you're all enjoying it. Many of you, I'm sure, have got connections with the bush, and as they often say, you can take the boy or the girl for that matter from the bush, but you can't take the bush from the boy or the girl. So I know I've met people here today who now live on the coast or in the city. They still very much got that country blood running through their veins. So with that, I'd just like to first of all acknowledge and thank Councillor Kathy Duff. She is the best councillor in Australia, there's no doubt about that. I haven't got enough years left to emulate what she's done. 18 years on this regional council, 18 years serving as a councillor. And she has put her heart and soul in this job 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Sleep isn't something that she knows too much about. She works so bloody hard, and I think she probably does the work of 3 councillors. She's an amazing contributor. Kathy won a really prestigious award a few years ago for a Queensland Local Government Award, and received that up in Cairns, where the President of the Queensland Local Government Association said that Kathy is what every councillor should be. She is the absolute classic councillor. And I can tell you that I would certainly be lost without her support. My wife's joining us later on this afternoon, coming out. We're going to be working over in the kitchen helping serve the roast dinner, so very much looking forward to have my wife here, and hopefully she'll let me have a couple of drinks before we head on home tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to now pass a sincere vote of thanks to the committee and to all of the volunteers who've made this wonderful 21st Spirit of the Bush possible. Thank you all.